Would I be the asshole by not telling a guy I've been dating for a month that I'm having artificial insemination to be a single mother?
Well, okay.
Prior to lockdown, I decided to be a single mother by choice. The journey to accepting this has taken 2 years and included counseling and a very thorough plan to ensure I could do this alone. I was happy with my decision, and I was at a good place in life where I realized my desire to be a mother was stronger than looking for a partner, which may or may not happen. And with my fertility declining, I chose to go down the path as a solo woman. Right before I was due to have artificial insemination with sperm donor, the pandemic hit, and treatments were canceled. There was no timeline for when things may reopen. For a few days, I was devastated as I was so mentally prepared for this, and then I picked myself up and decided to park my plan. After all, I didn't have a choice. I downloaded a dating app out of curiosity and figured that I could still chat to guys and see what happened without any expectation, really. I've been talking with a guy, let's call him G, and it's only been a month or so. So, a very early stage. However, we've met up twice with a third meeting planned, spoken many times on the phone, and I get a really good feeling from him. For the first time in years, quite frankly, I feel emotionally connected with a man, and it feels completely natural and promising. During this time, my clinic called me to say they've had approval to open, and do I wish to go ahead this month with my treatment? I want to be a mother more than ever, so I said yes. And I'm now on medication with my appointment set for next week. While there's no guarantee I'll get pregnant on the first go, I have a conflict in my mind about informing G of my plan. On the one hand, it's at such an early stage of our romance without yet being anything committed that I feel like I'm bringing something up prematurely. On the other hand, I wonder what may happen as time goes on. Am I just delaying the inevitable? Is it deceptive of me not to inform him of anything so fundamental in my life? A friend told me that I'd sabotage a potential relationship with him by telling him of this plan right now, and that a man who is really into me will accept me even if I'm pregnant, and that more time is needed for him to really get to know me. But in my mind, I'm wondering if it will piss him off by suddenly saying, quote, "Hey, I'm pregnant, by the way." We've spoken loosely about wanting kids in the future, so I know he'd like a family, but it was a brief passing comment. I'm also not willing to wait to get into a long-term relationship, and we are far too early to be thinking about a family together. Would I be the asshole by keeping quiet about the plan for now?
I think it's a very tricky situation
Oh my God. There's
because,
movies about this shit.
yeah, but it just feels like when you meet someone new and you're super into them, you're super excited about it, you're just scared at almost. I mean, I've had moments, even early days with you, where it's like, I feel like there was one off moment where I said one thing that was a little weird, and I was like, all right, I just fucked it all up. It's over. And I just lost her. Obviously, it's not the case,
No.
but I think when you're in the early stages of a relationship, you think that way,
Yeah,
where
it's
even the
dicey.
smallest things become these colossal world-ending things for your relationship in the
Yeah.
early stages. In this case, though, there's nothing against this. I think it's amazing. I think she made an awesome choice, and that's an incredible undertaking that she's going to go forward with.
To choose to be a single parent is a lot of work. That's amazing. She truly wants that
Well, and
child.
that's awesome. That's her choice, and she wants to do
So
it. And she's
so
like, "Yep, I'm in.
incredible.
Let's go." That's dope.
So incredible.
With that being said, though, if you're willing to go ahead and make that choice and do that, I think you have to own it to the point where you have to share it because it is going to be a problem down the road. It's almost like a lie when you haven't told something and then all of a sudden it comes out of the blue. I think
It's a
you
lot. It's like guilty by omission
and I
or
think if you
like,
start the
yeah.
relationship early saying, here's what I'm doing. I'm super excited. I'm passionate about it. I've always wanted to do this. I'm open to kids in the future and whatever, but this is right for me now. This is what I want to do now. Then if he's the right person, he'll be on board because you're doing this 100%.
Yeah.
And if he's not about it, and then you just like wait until he's really hooked in and then drop it on him last minute,
that's unfair.
it just doesn't feel right.
No, that's deceptive. And I think there are so many, so many great people out there that if you are a single parent, there's people out there that want that. There's people that are open to dating a single parent. But to go into it deceptively, like you said, that's where it's unfair. And I look at this person where, yeah, they got bored and they were going to go date and go on this app. That's fine. Everything you did is fine. You're not in the wrong. But you instantly become the asshole the minute you get deceptive and the minute you start lying. Because you want this child. You are going out of your way to get artificially inseminated and be a single parent.
Yeah.
And if you're not willing to own that choice for yourself, you're an asshole.
Well, and honestly, his opinion at the end of the day is irrelevant.
It's
your choice. You're going into it saying, this is what I want to do. So you got to say it on the front end, because if he's like, oh, like I'm not about that, then see ya.
He doesn't deserve you. He's not the right one. That's exactly how I feel. Like, if he doesn't want to be a part of your relationship, the minute you say, hey, I want to have a child. I've thought about this for a really long time. I was on the list prior to meeting you. COVID shut me down. I'm going to get impregnated. Like, I'm going to get inseminated. I want to have a kid.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be first date. You don't have to be like, it doesn't have to be the front of your character where the first thing you do is, guess what? I know you're into sports, but guess what? Here's what I have going on.
Yeah.
It's more one of those things where when you actually start to feel something with someone and it becomes something real, that's when you say, hey.
Well, and what did she say? So I didn't read this one. I wanted to come back with this second half of Rough Road, and I just went on Reddit looking for updates on the relationship / am I the asshole thread. So I didn't read this one. I don't know what the update entails on this one. But what did she say? They were only like 3 dates in.
Yeah, but I think the feelings started to be there. I mean, when it's right, the feelings happen quick. I mean, like it was one and done for me. So I understand how it can become serious very quickly.
Yeah.
Or the feelings become real very quickly. But it's just not something you lead with on a first date.
If you're gonna lie about that though, asshole.
Well, yes, that is different.
Yeah.
I'm just saying not on the first date, but it comes to a point where when the feelings become real, you're like, all right, I have something I want to tell you.
Yeah.
And then you gauge it from there. You figure out what the response is from there, and your answer is going to be apparent very quickly.
You don't want to go into a relationship lying, like no matter how small or big it is, like enter a relationship with honesty. Because if truth comes out down the road, like it's just going to be heartache and pain and deception, and there's no point. This is a fucking J-Lo movie. What's the J-Lo movie where she like, this is like literally the same plot?
I'm not good with the movies.
Oh, I know. I know you're not. But this is a J-Lo movie where J-Lo like wants a baby. She's tired of being single. She gets knocked up with artificial insemination and then meets the guy of her dreams. Okay. J-Lo artificial insemination movie. It's called The Backup Plan, and it's a great movie. But J-Lo goes down the same road, and J-Lo is honest with her mans, and he sticks by her.
Well, and that's the thing, too. I was thinking if you do come out and tell him right now, and he's like, oh my God, that's awesome. That's amazing. You're going to be so much more into it. It's going to strengthen your relationship. It's just going to be like a fairy tale.
It's a fairy tale. It's a fairy tale versus going down the road and having your partner come out that your partner lied to you and being like, fuck you, you lied to me.
Yeah, you're going to be stressed the fuck out. You're going to be thinking about that every time you're with him. And then every time you get closer to him, it gets better and better and better. And you're like, fuck, I should have told him then.
Yep.
I should have told him then. I
Yep.
should have told him yesterday.
Yep.
And then,
It gets worse and worse.
yep.
So for the update. A month ago, I was told I would be the asshole for not telling a date about my plans to be a single mother. So I told him.
Yes.
A month ago, I asked if I would be the asshole to not tell a guy I had only started dating that I had plans to become a single mother. I was scared I'd lose him, but also felt I would be deceiving him by not telling him, thus making the investment in our relationship unfair. The comments were pretty much unanimous in that I'm an asshole and I needed to tell him. And this validated my decision to go forth and be honest, as nervous as I was.
Yep.
I explained my situation about taking 2 years to come to this decision, how my fertility clinic had shut down due to COVID, which was why I had gone back onto dating apps. I explained how my clinic had reopened after meeting him and how important it was to me to continue my journey to become a single mother. I knew this was baggage he hadn't expected and that there was every chance he would step away from the situation. Well, he didn't.
It's not such a single mother after all.
This is J-Lo 2.0. Well, we're now in a committed relationship and he's been supporting me in my journey. I've had 2 unsuccessful artificial inseminations with donor sperm, my original plan, and we've spoken about having a child together. As early on as it may seem, he told me my honesty made him consider his own future and how he really wants a family someday, and how he has admiration for me for being honest about my situation and how he wants to help me fulfill my desires to be a mother, whether with him or with a sperm donor. Either way, he wants to be a part of my life. Fuck.
There we go. I mean, you just like, honestly, you just have to be honest. You just got to communicate your feelings, friendships, family, relationships. If you can just, and this is what I experienced so much in New York, and this is what I love New York for, and just the East Coast vibe. People just say things when they feel them. There's no like harboring the feelings and then lashing out later. It just right there on the spot. Just go for it.
Yeah. So it continues a little bit. I want to provide this update as a positive outcome has come out of being labeled an asshole, and it pushed me to do the right thing, which has in turn meant I have the most understanding and accepting boyfriend. Had I kept this info from him, it would have played on my conscience as well as most likely have caused him to not trust me.
Yeah, it would have wrecked this whole perfect fairy tale ending.
So thank you. Edit. Gosh, I didn't think this post would blow up in this way. Thanks for the lovely words of support. And also those of you taking the time to provide food for thought of co-parenting and step-parenting. This is new territory for me, and I don't know how anyone else in my day-to-day life who has been in this situation. So it's so valuable for me to hear your views and gain new perspectives. Thank you, kind Reddit community.
Yep. I love it.
Incredible.
Well, and that's why I think it's important to not just consider one person's opinion, because if you take that opinion solely for just what it is, it clearly it would have led her down not
Not a good
this
path.
path. And so I think it's important to always talk to multiple people when you're considering. I mean, this is kind of a big decision. If she's serious about
Huge.
him, you can get serious
Huge.
really quick with feelings. You can know pretty quick, I think. And I think it's important to talk to multiple people and get, or just go to Reddit, get everyone's opinions. And there you go. Happy
Yeah.
ending.
Happy ending. Rough road, but happy ending.